Whenever a new Pixel phone launches, the same buzz gets created every single year. There's a lot of chatter about AI features, tons of questions about the Tensor chipset, and obviously the pricing gets discussed even more than the Union budget. They never get it right. In this video, I'll tell you everything about the new Pixel phones along with some pretty serious concerns that I have with these phones. Let's get started. First of all, the new design looks quite premium compared to the older Pixel 8, especially with the flat edges and the updated camera module. And if you just ignore the camera part and the logo, the overall look and feel of the phone resembles the iPhone a lot. Just look at them side by side. The in-hand feel of both the 9 and the 9 Pro XL is quite good, but the XL feels a bit more slippery, so you have to hold it a little tighter. And if you look closely, you'll see that the Made in China text is printed on the frame, which is quite weird because it's usually written on the back. I think they just don't want you to see this. Other than that, you get a metal frame, all the buttons and ports, IP68 rating, and Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection on the back. In terms of design and build, the new Pixel phones are definitely a step forward. But let's talk about the display now. Only the Pro gets the LTPO panel, while the non-Pro still has a standard 120Hz panel. The display on the Pro also gets brighter compared to the Pixel 9, but the rest of the things such as the Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection, HDR10 Plus support, and ultrasonic fingerprint scanner remain the same on both. And speaking of the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, it is definitely a big upgrade over the optical one, but for some reason, it just doesn't work as well as I expected. I think Google should definitely look into it. When it comes to the movie watching experience, you get HDR support on Netflix, YouTube, and even Prime, but the stereo speakers start to crackle at max volume on the 9 Pro XL. It's something I wasn't expecting on such a high-end phone. Now, enough about the design and the display. Let's talk about software and AI because that's what makes this phone special. First of all, Pixel 9 is the first phone to launch with Gemini Nano that takes multimodal on-device AI tasks to the next level, and the new Pixel Studio app is a very good example of that. With Pixel Studio, you can generate posters, images, or invitations just with the prompts, and everything is done on device and the results come out pretty good. Just take a look at this. Google has also launched a new Pixel Screenshots app where you can search through your screenshots like this. Show me the benchmarks. Show me the BGMI settings. This makes navigating through screenshots quite easy because Google extracts the information from within the images and does it quite well. Plus it works completely offline, so that's amazing. Now this one's my favorite. It's called Add Me. Basically it helps you include everyone in the group photo without having to rely on a stranger's photography skill. First, take a photo of your group, leaving some space for yourself. Then someone else take a photo of you with the AR overlay of the first picture. After processing, it creates a single shot of the entire group. It works beautifully and the end result is unreal. I mean, quite real. The Magic Editor also got two new features. First one is the auto frame, which as the name suggests, reframes the subject for the best composition. It not only reframes but can also add missing parts with AI. Looks cool, isn't it? And with the Reimagine feature, I can just add a prompt to completely change it the way I want. This works quite well with minimal changes, but if I try to change the reality too much, it just looks artificial. Now the good things about AI ends here. The rest of the AI features that I'm going to talk about just doesn't work as advertised. There's Gemini Live that looked quite impressive in the demos that worked, but it just doesn't work as well. It's meant to be Google Assistant on steroids, but it's not, at least as of yet. There were instances where it forgot the context after 3 to 5 exchanges and started blabbering random stuff. Sometimes it doesn't even let you finish your sentences, which is quite annoying, especially when it's not
having a rough day.
When it's not from.
Things get better.
Especially when it's.
Anything I can.
In fact, Gemini can't even pull up data from Pixel Studio or Pixel Screenshots. I also tried the Zoom Enhance feature that launched after one long year and it doesn't work. The enhanced photo lost the details, messed up the stickers, and the IND is completely blurred out. I think it needs some more time. Lastly, there's this new AI weather app that shows AI summary of the day's weather, which is not very useful, but the overall design of the app is quite cool. And if you're wondering about the call recording feature, it doesn't work in India as of yet. Maybe it's linked to the screen calling feature. That's pretty much about the AI features. And now, let's talk about the software experience. It's as stock as it can get, and the phone is running on Android 14 with a promise of 7 years of updates. By the way, it's 7 years of updates and not 7 updates, so don't get confused. Let's talk about the cameras now. See, cameras were the big highlight of Pixel phones, but not anymore. In terms of hardware, there are very subtle changes. Only the ultra-wide camera has been upgraded in the Pixel 9 and the selfie shooter in the Pro. Everything else remains the same. What bothers me the most is not having a telephoto lens on the Pixel 9, now that even mid-range phones have started to come with it. In terms of photos though, HDR processing does the heavy lifting in sceneries and the skin tones are kept quite natural for human subjects, but the portrait edge detection is not perfect in 9 Pro. And surprisingly, the selfies on the Pixel 9 come out better than the Pro. I think some more optimization is required here. By the way, you also get Camera X API integration, so you can switch between lenses and even get night mode in apps like Instagram and Snapchat. And if I talk about videos, you can record 4K videos from all the cameras on both phones with rear lens switching. I also recorded the 8K video using the Video Boost feature and the results were surprisingly good, as you can see here. But it took 2 hours for process, which isn't nearly as fast as what Google promised. I'm also leaving a camera samples drive link, so check it out from the video description, and while you're at it, please subscribe. And now that you're subscribed, let's talk about the performance and benchmarks, because I'm sure that you're not going to leave without seeing that. Both the phones are running on Tensor G4 chipset, but the Pixel 9 gets 12GB RAM and 256GB storage, while the Pro gets 16GB RAM and up to 512GB storage. The Pro variant also gets the vapor chamber cooling system, but the non-Pro does not get it. In terms of benchmarks, G4 performs pretty bad in Antutu. It doesn't even come close to 8 Gen 2. We ran the benchmark multiple times just to be sure, but the numbers didn't change much. The Geekbench numbers were also not up to the mark, but the Pro performs slightly better than the Pixel 9, but they are not competing with each other, so no prizes here. In CPU throttling, I don't want to stress on the numbers because there's a lot of red color on your screen right now, which is never pretty. In 3D Mark II, the stability is quite poor, as you can see here. Since the performance is capped, the temperature never crossed 37 degrees in the CPU intensive task and 41 degrees in the GPU stress test. Now, that is the story of the benchmarks, but if I talk about the real world usage, the phone performed decent. There were no app crashes or stutters, and the app stayed in memory, so that's good. But what's not good is that even with the basic usage such as camera or mobile data, the phone tends to get very warm, and that is something that should have been fixed by now. In fact, there are rumors that Google will partner with TSMC's for 3nm G5 processors, but until then, it is what it is. I know you want to know about gaming, so here are the gameplay settings you get on some of the most popular games, and you can pause here to take a good look at them. To give you guys some perspective, I played Genshin Impact for 20 minutes and the temperatures didn't cross 41 degrees, but I noticed a lot of frame drops here and there. I expected better. All in all, performance is one area where the competition is miles ahead of Google, and Google should definitely do something about it. Performance aside, let's talk about the battery situation. The Pixel 9 gets a 4700 mAh battery, while the Pro XL gets 5060 mAh, and these are the supported charging speeds for both the phones. Now, I am yet to test the battery life, but given that the chipset is not very power hungry, the phone can easily last you a day with casual usage. See, I'm pretty much okay with the battery size, but the charging speeds should have been faster. Lastly, in terms of connectivity, there's Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.3, NFC, single physical SIM plus eSIM, 23 5G bands, and Type-C USB 3.2 port. On paper, you can't ask for more, but in reality, the story is completely different. The mobile data download and upload speeds were pretty inconsistent compared to what I was getting on the Vivo X100 Pro that I had in my other pocket. I tested it indoors, on the road, and even on terrace, the results were always pretty inconsistent. Even after the recent update, it didn't change much. Now, this is the same issue that I faced on the Pixel 8a, and I genuinely had a lot of expectations from the new Exynos Modem 5400, but turns out the problem still exists. The basic function of a phone is to provide connectivity, and if that's where it struggles, I'm really not sure what to say. Okay, it's time for my final thoughts. The Pixel 9 is launched in India at 79,999 and the Pixel 9 Pro XL starts at 1,25,000 rupees. At first, I thought it was a printing mistake, but again, Google can't be making such mistakes every single year. I mean, I get it. AI features on this phone are insanely cool, but the rest of the phone is not at all competitive. There are performance issues on this phone and it tends to get warm even with the basic tasks. The mobile internet speeds are not at all consistent. The cameras, well, they are not extraordinary, and some of the AI features don't even work as advertised. So why is Google asking such a hefty price for these phones? I really don't get it. I think Google should choose between the two, either the right pricing or the right specs, because AI alone cannot sell the phones. So what do you guys think about the Pixel 9 phones? Tell us in comments. If you guys have any questions, ask us and we'll answer them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.